of From. We're going to be talking about From season 4, episode 9. Episode 9 was a doozy, and episode 9 was titled the Calm Before. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this YouTube channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. Okay, we got all that stuff on out of the way. Let's begin our analysis of what we witnessed and saw from episode 9, The Calm Before. So From season 4, episode 9 is titled The Calm Before. It focused on it focused on an extracting of tension as Boyd and Jade plan to enter the tunnels moving forward with Tabitha, and Julie is involved as well. While Henry's visions increase and Victor is locked up, trying to prevent them from pulling the bottle tree. Okay. Key events include Sophia and Clara, their new bond deal Clara made with the man in yellow. Um, Julia's time traveling attempts to save Jim. This episode serves as the calm before the storm until the season finale. Okay, so lots of we're going to talk about. First, we're going to talk about the key points in this episode. Okay, and the key points is Boyd's plan. Boyd, Jade, and the others prepare to go through the tunnels, with Boyd asking Christy to join them and bring supplies. Okay, I felt like before we get to what I felt like with Christy, uh, I felt like that is the main story to this season, whether or not to, well, not this season, for the past 5 episodes, uh, to trust the intel that Jade gave to Boyd when he was on his mushroom trip. Um, and will this plan work? And I also felt like Donna was asking Boyd, well, if y'all successfully go into the tunnels, y'all successfully dig the bones up, y'all successfully bring them to the town. Okay, what do these bones? What do we do with the bones moving forward? And Boyd and Jade has not figured that out yet. Okay, and I do feel like Donna setting that into motion. Hopefully Jade and Boyd are processing that and trying to figure out what we're gonna do with these bones moving forward. Okay. Um, Also with that timeline and with that storyline, now Boyd has changed his mind, which we talked about. If you watch me, if you watch my last live stream, Boyd is now picking a side. Cause at first, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing, my good friend? Um, at first, Boyd was, was trying to pick a struggle. He was trying to pick a side. He was for the plan, then he was against the plan, and then he was for the plan, then he was against the plan. All right. And when he talked to the Reverend Father, he said, hey, look, Boyd, this might be the best plan y'all may have as far as getting out of this town. And if this is the best laid plan, you have to think about this as a war. You know, yeah, the number one goal is to make sure all the soldiers that were part of the war, was involved in the war, come back home. But let's just be real here. Let's be realistic here. If this is a battle, if this is a war, casualties will be included in this mission. And some people, you know, some people may not make it through this attempt of, as far as you get digging up the bones, as far as you know, I have no idea what happened there, but okay, we're moving forward. Moving forward. Okay. So yeah, that's so I guess he got Boyd on the right mind track, on the right mind pattern that, hey, if this is our best plan, if this is our best course of action, I'm going to have to fundamentally accept the fact that lives may be lost. Okay, even with this last dish, with this mission. Okay, so Boyd is back on board with the plan. Now, uh, about Christy, real fast, real quick. I do feel like Boyd eliminated, or had a plan A, B, and C, just in case if some people get injured or if some people don't make it back. And he also lowered the chances of losing a lot of casualties because in the beginning of this plan, the whole town was going to come there and help them pull this bottle tree. So now Boyd eliminated it by keeping most of the town folks in the town. He also, Kenny was supposed to be involved in this plan. And hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Um, and Bob and Goose and okay. So basically, I'm glad you're having fun. So basically, Kenny was supposed to be involved in this plan originally. So Boy had a conversation with Kenny and told him, "Hey, Kenny, um, we're gonna, you're gonna sit on the sidelines. I'm gonna keep you in the town. So just in case this plan does not work, you know, and we all don't make it, Kenny, you're gonna be the next one in charge if something foreseen happens as us pulling the bottle tree." I thought that was great strategy from Boyd. That's leadership. That's him, being in the military saying, "Hey, look, we're not going to send everybody down there. We're not going to send everybody there. Something happens, and then we not only we're losing people that lost their lives, but important people." Okay. So I felt like that was a great strategy for Boyd to take it to that take it to that logic. Okay. So um he cut the lives down. He cut the people down so we don't lose a lot of life. And it was supposed to be in the original plan, the town folks were supposed to go down into those tunnels. And Tabitha told Boyd, "Hey, look, Boyd, really, if you look at it," and she had one of those memories, and she started looking at the talisman. It's only supposed to be two people down in them tombs. It's supposed to be her and Jade. Okay, so that reduced the possibility of people losing their lives going down the tunnel. Now you done eliminated that portion. And Boyd was, Boyd was agreeing with Tabitha, not because of the intel that she gave Boyd, but Boyd was looking at it like, okay, if you and Jay want to go down there, that's cool. Okay, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great, guys, in the chat. I'm doing great. Um, if y'all two want to go down there, that's cool. All right, that means that's less people we have to involve going down there, and it reduces the risk of a lot of casualties just in case the plan doesn't work. So I think Boyd was looking at it from that standpoint than what she said. Okay, so yeah, uh, that's going into effect. Okay. Henry's visions, excuse me for a second. Henry alternate reality become more vivid when his imagination family urges him uh to sever the anchor from real, which means eliminating Victor. Now, they were in past episodes, his visions, these fantasies were telling Henry about this anchor that's keeping him away from this reality. And once he eliminates this anchor, he can, go on living in this quote unquote reality, which the town's playing mind tricks with Henry, but Henry does not see that. Okay. So, you know, we found out uh last night that the anchor is Victor. if Henry eliminates Victor, he can go back to he can go into this reality. Now, he's struggling with it. Mentally, he's having a tug of war with this, okay? And this is kind of similar to what the town told Boyd's wife to do. Like, none of this is real, and if you eliminate the town people, y'all can return back to y'all normal lives. And she just went on a shooting spree, okay? And ultimately, Boyd had to kill his wife. Okay. I feel like that storyline is going to play a huge role with Victor and Henry. And I feel like with Victor, this is this character is going to have to grow up some. We all know Victor is a child in a man's body. Victor was the lone survivor from the first massacre, and he still thinks like a child, and he's mentally not as I wouldn't say sharp, but he's not mentally there to understand that, hey, look, your own father can pose a significant threat to, if he's not thinking in this way, and I'm pretty sure he's not thinking this way, um, causing harm to people in the town, which he should be thinking about. He could be causing harm to you, Victor. So Victor going to have to make a choice. Okay. Now he's also being distracted by the boy in white telling him that they shouldn't destroy the bottle tree. They should leave the bottle tree alone. And this has been going on in previous seasons. By the way, it's the same episode in every season. um, I got that nugget from Beyond Premier's YouTube channel. Like, on the ninth episode of every season, the boy appears and he talks about the bottle tree, how important the bottle tree is. Okay, so I don't want to take all credit for that. That's Beyond Premier's uh research. So I'm gonna give him credit for that. Okay. Tabitha and Jade. Jade explains the man in yellow visits her home, while Julie reveals time traveled back to try to try. She reveals time traveling back in time to save Jim, and reveals Tabitha. Uh, and this revelation, Tabitha doesn't react well to it. Okay. Um, I wouldn't look at it like that. I would look at it as Tabitha and Julie are finally communicating and sharing intel and sharing information about their experiences in this town. Julie telling her mother that, hey, look, I this town is playing tricks on you because this town got me thinking I'm, time jumping, but but in reality I'm having seizures, okay? And this town could be playing tricks. This town playing tricks for me. I'm on the realization that I'm not. I think now she low key didn't say this, but she's low key saying that none of this stuff is real. I'm not time traveling. And she also revealed that she met the man in yellow. So go figure with that. I think Julie is struggling with her abilities. I think Julie is struggling with what's real, what's not real, what's important, what's not important. And for Julie to open up, I feel like a lot of people miss this. Will miss this. This is a mother-daughter moment. Mother and daughter is bonding, which happens to be on Father's Day of all days. I just dropped a nugget for you guys. This happened on Father's Day. Their father, Jim, is died, but for them to say, hey, look, we need to bond more and help one another out. I felt like this was a great moment, one of those mother and daughter moments, which hasn't happened at all in the From universe, because Tabitha was doing her thing way over here, Julie's doing her thing way over there, and now they're sharing information, what they've been going through, and I thought that was great. And also including Eden, her son. Now he knows that, okay, what she's been doing on her own, what his mom been doing on his own, and he's encouraging both of them. okay? To continue to believe not everything in the town is they're playing tricks with you. But he did give them give his mother a key nugget that, hey, the town wants you scared, wants you afraid. You should believe in yourself, trust in yourself, trust the process, and move forward. The town's going to always have roadblocks to make you afraid or question your decisions and things of that nature. So yeah, I thought that was great. I don't think a lot of people peeped the manuscript. I don't think a lot of people peeped that. I peeped it. I enjoyed that. That was great writing, by the way. Okay. Claire and Sophia. Sophia and Claire become blood sisters and reveal Clara has a past condition with the man in yellow. So apparently, um Clara has met the man in yellow probably when she first got there, maybe. And she made a pact with the man in yellow that if she follows the man in yellow's orders, she will be she will leave. The man in yellow is going to let her go back to the real world, which is kind of weird because Clara has been involved in a lot of people having these pacts with the town, with whoever, Elijah, so Clara has been involved in a lot of these people saying, hey, if I would have, the town is telling me to do this. If I do this, then the town is going to let me leave on my own. So I don't know why Clara ain't putting two together, like, the man in yellow is tricking you. The man in yellow is, this is their number one lie to everyone in the town, and everyone in the town fell for it. And you would think with all that research, with all that knowledge, Clara would kind of be wise to it, or have a moment and say, hey, look, I need to tell somebody this, which she never did. Okay, because she's thinking about herself and she wants to return back to her world, okay, to reality. All right. Um Also, that was revealed, and and that also reveals the man in yellow has been taking different forms of people, and he's been low key been around the town and know all of these characters. Okay. So ain't no telling what other packs he have with other people in this town, which we're gonna come to my conclusion. Now it ended on a cliffhanger. Elijah was in the storage room and he happens to run in a bunch of Polaroid pictures. And one of the pictures, it's old pictures of Sophia. It shows Sophia, um, with the town folks that are no longer there. So instead of Elijah saying, "Oh man," first and foremost, 3 or 4 episodes ago, they had the whole town in that cafe. Why hasn't anyone in the town found those pictures before Elijah? Okay, that, hey, whatever. We'll play along with the story writing here. Uh, so Elijah finds it, and instead of running with this information to Boyd, or running to this information with anyone with some importance or some significance in the town, he takes this information and tells Sophia about it. Hey Sophia, I found this picture, this old picture of you. It was a town folks person that looked exactly like you. I thought that was bad writing, bad placement in the chapters. I feel like this is a throwaway. I feel like this was something that they wanted to reveal earlier in the previous seasons. I mean the previous episodes, but they just did not have time to fit it in, and they felt like, okay, let's put it in this episode because not really whole lot going on in this episode. That's what I got from this. Um, It also shows how dense um, Elijah is. I don't think anyone is that dumb. Like, you got some key information here. It's like, you know, you find a video of who robbed the bank, and instead of taking it to the police, you take it to the person that robbed the bank. Hey man, I saw some footage of you robbing the bank. Look, here it is. Okay. I thought that was, to me, bad placement, um, and bad writing, how they scripted it, how they written it. They could have written it a whole lot better. But anyway, Elijah shows the man in yellow, aka Sophia, and then Sophia tells Clara to lock the door, lock the dining room door, because there's only three of them there: Elijah, Sophia, and Clara. Clara went on and did it because she's scared and she don't want the man in yellow to not give her her opportunity to get out of this town. So she went on and locked the door. Sophia has a knife, and it just ends there. Now, a lot of people, and I've seen this on Discord, I've seen this on other content creators on YouTube, their breakdowns of it. They feel like Elijah is done for. To me, I don't think Elijah is done for. I think Sophia is going to use Elijah um, for the last episode and the next season. She's going to use him. And I'm going to explain to you why I feel this way. Um, Sophia was not happy because they had a conversation in the diner before Elijah interrupted them. They had a conversation, and Sophia, aka the man in yellow, was kind of upset with Clara on some information that Clara just found out that um um Jade and Tabitha is going to go in the tunnels. The man in yellow thought that boy was going to send half the town down there. He's only then changed the plans, and now they're only going to send two people down there. So the man in yellow got kind of mad at Clara, saying, "Well, why you didn't tell me this sooner?" And Clara said, "Well, I just found out about it." Okay, and that tells me that the man in yellow, if he has the ability to see into the future, he did not see this version of the future. That also tells me Sophia, aka the man in yellow, don't know all, don't see all. So he gotta have moles and spies to tell him information what they're saying. Okay. That's what it tells me. And Sophia was furious with Clara, and that's when Elijah came in and interrupt their conversation. I think the man in Sophia, aka the man in yellow, is going to kill Clara in episode 10 next Sunday. He's going to kill her because he's going to use her for an example. And then she's going to warp the mind of Elijah, saying, "Hey, look, I killed her because and he's gonna twist it and make it sound like I killed her because she was useless to me, but you are more useful to me than her, and you know more than her," because he demonstrated in a weird way. Elijah demonstrated to Sophia that he's worthy. He could be the perfect mole because he will run anything, any type of information. He's going to run and go tell the man in yellow. And Elijah is going to get duped again, like in last season when the woman in the Kamola, the woman in the Kamola, she was warping his mind. Okay, so I do feel like the man in yellow is going to kill Clara on episode 10 and make a pact with Elijah. I don't think Elijah is going to die in episode 10. I feel like that's the only way that's going to work. Okay, because uh the man in yellow got to realize if Elijah found that picture, who else found this picture? and they probably haven't told nobody until they gotten all the pieces together, which it could be that female that was a cop that wanted to delete herself, and you know, Boyd sent her to the cellar, also sent her to the diner to find some piece to go through a lot of the clothes and whatever to get some information on about this town. And for her to be a police officer and she did not see that, that just tells me either she's a dumb police officer or she's holding on to information that she hasn't told Boyd yet until she gets a bigger picture of this information and how important this information is. So I do feel like Elijah, found out about it, but I do feel like, and I could be totally wrong about the second part of what I just got through talking to you guys about. I could be totally wrong about her, maybe no one else doesn't know, but I do feel like someone else has to know. Otherwise, this was to me, this is this storytelling just had a brain fart. Like, why would why would the only person who found out about this picture happens to be the person who wasn't even really, just happened to go through all this stuff, which to me, why is he still looking for stuff? Obviously, Boyd has moved past that. They have moved on to bigger and better things. So they didn't even explain why he was back there in the first place. So that just tells me that this was something that they created along with the town folks going through all the old pe- people that's been there before and stuff, and maybe they was going to include this, and then they decided and they went back and said, you know what, let's hold the suspense. Let's not show this scene 3 or 4 episodes ago. Let's go ahead and show this a little bit later, which is in 9 or 10. Okay, it's bad placement and the way how they wrote it in is kind of effed up now. I felt like if you're going to bring that, you got to cleverly write it in so it blends in with the rest of this episode, because I felt like it was out of place. It was kind of out of order, and there's no importance to this to that little part of Elijah finding this picture. It's important. I'm not saying that it's not important. What I am saying is there's really no importance to this, because now they have moved forward and they're going on with their plan. See, this would be good intel for Boyd and them, but if they would have showed Boyd, if he would have showed Boyd in episode 4 and 5, then the man in yellow would not exist for the rest of the episode. So I see why they did it that way, but to me personally, it just didn't make no sense. But anyway, that's all I got. I felt like this was hands down a good this was hands down a good episode. I wouldn't say it was a solid episode. I wouldn't say it was a bad episode. I just felt like, to me, it was a decent episode. It really uh the the only thing you can take away from this episode is they're going through with the plan. Boyd is fully committed to the plan. Tabitha and Jade are in the tunnels. That's less casualties. Does the talisman? I think the talisman work by them pinning the talisman by the cave door, and they put plastic around it. Because the creatures woke up from all the drilling and the hammering that Tabitha and Jade was doing, and they walked over there and they said, I wouldn't, once they found the bones, one of the creatures said, I wouldn't do that. Which, by the way, where's Smiley? Smiley was nowhere in this scene. Also, um, not Tabitha, Phantoma, is her condition has gotten worse because Clara, um gave her a drink that had the man in yellow's blood in it, and that's more like a sacrifice type deal. I feel like I don't want to go further into the Phantoma storyline. Um, I will say this: that is going to the season finale. That is going to play a huge part moving forward. Uh, as far as Phantoma, I hope this does not happen, but judging by the previous episodes, I feel like Phantoma, because like the man in yellow says, there's rituals. They're on the right plan, but it's a ritual. Okay. So um once they dig the bones up, they're not done yet. They're not finished yet as far as getting out of that town. There's other things you have to do, other components you have to do. And by the man in yellow, Sophia, aka the man in yellow, she put her blood in the drink. Phantoma drinks it, and I feel like uh that's going to complete Phantoma, and Phantoma is going to become one of the creatures. Um, and you're gonna see it at the end of episode 10, where she's out in the dark with the other creatures, or she turns into a creature at Colony House, and she ends up killing a lot of people there because she's inside, she turns into the creature and she kills everybody. And that could also include Donna. Donna could be possibly dead in this scene. And with all the chaos going on, you got Henry and Victor. Does Henry go ahead and tries to kill his own son? We'll have to wait and see. So I feel like that's going to be a huge cliffhanger for the rest of the year. And just to let you guys know, I will still continue to do live streams on From even when the season's over with, and we can speculate on things that we may see on the final season of From. Now, there have been talks of this may not work. Okay. I've heard on a lot of message boards that what they're going through, what they're doing right now won't work. And ultimately everyone's going to die in the town, and it's going to complete the circle. That's what I've heard from a lot of message boards. And I also heard that people would like to have a spin-off of this show. Maybe excuse me, maybe a different set of characters in another part of the world or on an island, aka Lost, and they go through the same struggles like Boyd and them went through. Okay. I've heard, or in that same town, and Phantoma is a creature, and you get these guest spots of Boyd as dead ghosts trying to help the new visitors how to get out of the town. So I've heard that as well. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. I really do appreciate everyone that came by. I appreciate everyone that hit the subscription button. I appreciate everyone that hit the like button. We'll do this again. We'll do this again next week, and we'll continue to do it. Now, I will say this: uh, when the season of From is over with, instead of Sunday morning, I might do a live stream of it on Monday. So we may move it up to Monday. We'll speculate on the things I found from the message boards, or things or y'all guys in the comment section. You guys, if you guys want to talk about stuff, we'll talk about it in the next few episodes. And I'm also going to be doing reviews of other seasons, possibly. I mean, other shows, possibly, and movies. So just because From is over with doesn't mean we still won't be talking about stuff. So I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Thank you so much.